to be honest. When I need to get a water pump rebuilt, I usually buy a rebuilt water pump because they sell the rebuild kits for the water pump, but I have never done one before, and they are kind of intimidating. Well, at least they intimidate me a little bit. So today, I'm going to go after it. We're going to rebuild this water pump. Now, I know it looks new, but that's just because we've cleaned up the old one. Whew, tough to get out. This is an 83, and the air pump on the 83s, there's a little bracket down there that mounts to the bottom of the water pump, which is a little funky. They changed that on later models. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It just makes getting the water pump out a little tighter, a little tight fit. Let's see. There we go. All right, got it. All right, so here we go. It's off an 83 turbo motor, and it's pretty clean. But you know, the last thing I want to do is put a motor in a car and then have the water pump go bad shortly thereafter, because doing this job in the car really sucks. It's a hard job. I mean, it's not terrible. The hardest part is when you go to put it back on and you put some gasket sealer on there. You don't have good access, and when you're finagling the water pump back into position and trying to get the bolt holes lined up, that gasket material, you know, it's going to smear, it's going to smudge, and it's not a pretty installation because you're doing it half blind. So I like to, you know, doing them out of the car, the best bet. All right, so let's go rebuild this bad boy. All right, this is a job for the shed, where the woodworking tools are. It's a rainy, nasty day. It's dark in here, but I got this in a vise, clamped up, got some sacrificial wooden boards so I don't screw up the casting. And then I am going to sawzall that baby right in there. There's a shaft that comes with the rebuild kit, and I'm going to throw that away anyway. So I'm going to cut it right there, and then I can go to the press and press off the flange and press out the, what do you call that, a turbine? I don't know, that part right there. I'm going to press that out. So I don't have three hands, so I can't hold the phone and cut this sucker. So I'm going to put the phone down for a second, cut it off, and we'll go from there. Success. There we go, got that cut off. You can see the sealant there now. Here's the flange. Ooh, a little hot, it's warm. Good job for a sawzall, although that is some really hard metal. Even with a really aggressive brand new metal blade on the sawzall, it took a while to get through that. And yeah, that was a job. Okay, let's go to the press. All right, on the press, I got that thing down in there, just using a 10mm socket to push it through. So I'm going to crank that bad boy out. All right, step 2 successful. That was in there like that. Pushed it out. Easy peasy. Now we got to do the water pump body. All right, back on the press. Same socket, 10mm. Going to push that out. Just make sure you got room underneath for that to come down. Otherwise, you'll just break something. So yeah, make sure that that can actually fall free through to the bottom. All right, got it out. You can see inside there. Here's the old impeller, or whatever you call this thing. Anyway, look at the seal. You can see I'm kind of, yeah, good thing decided to replace it. It's a little cruddy. The bearing felt really good on this thing, but that seal, yeah, that seal was a little worrisome. So glad I'm going to replace it. Here's the new kit. So you got this. This replaces that. It's a lot longer. Don't know why. Find out here in a minute. Here's the new seal. This goes in there. And then that goes in there. That goes on there. Something like that. So old one's out. Now let's work on putting the new one in. So we learn as I go. This is not part of the mechanism. This is just a tool. It's for pressing in the new spindle and the bearing and all that. So to get this in the housing, they say put that in there, put your press tool on it, right? Line it up on the press and then press it in until that is flush with that. So it'll be sitting in there like that, flush with the front. All right, that makes more sense. Let's go do that. All right, on the press, the trick here is you want this thing level, flush, so I had to put this little aluminum piece in there, which leveled the whole thing out and gives me stability while I press this thing down. So I'm ready to put it in there. Let's press it in. All right, so I had this in there like that. I got it down as far as it would go. This diameter of the tool is too wide to go any further, so but it's good for getting it in there plumb and straight. So now I'm going to flip it over so I can keep pushing all the way through. I'm going to put that on, put my socket back on, and go ahead and press it the rest of the way. Okay, bearings in. You can see it in there. If I flip this over, here we go. We're flush with the surface. So far so good. Next step. All right, got some sealant around the seal for the water pump right there, and ready to press that in. So I'm going to pick this up, slide it on the shaft, and then this tool goes on it to press it in. So let's go press it in. All right, new seal's pressed in. There it is. Sits in there nice and flat. Next step. All right, so instructions say, well, I'm ready to press this on right there to the water pump. And I got to press it down until I get a clearance of between 0.5 millimeters and 0.75. I'm going to go with 0.6. It's right in the middle. So I got feeler gauges here that add up to 0.6. So time to go to the press again, and we'll get this installed. All right, on the press, I got a piece of wood down here at the bottom of the spindle. Got a really thick washer on top of the impeller, and I'm pressing that in. It's pretty easy to do. Like, I can just basically use my hand and you see that going down. Now my feeler gauges are going to go in that gap right there. So I'm going to keep pressing until I get my gap measured at that point. All right, here we go. Got it in. Feeler gauges are right here. And gaps are right at 0.6. So now we just got one more thing to do, and that is, where is it? The flange. I'm going to press the flange on, and then we'll be done with this job. All right, last step here. I got the water pump on the vise. Let me, I'm going to loosen this for a minute here. Make sure that part of the flange is out, because that's where the the belt pulley goes, and you want to make sure that's out. So I got a 23 millimeter socket. I'm just going to put it on there and press this down into place. All right, I got it on. I probably went too far down the shaft, but that's okay. I'm going to mount it up, and when I get it on the engine, so when I get it on the engine with the belt pulley, I can back it out a little bit, and I'll just use a gear puller for that. It's got a nice little notch in the middle to keep the gear puller square, and I got these screw holes, so that'll be really easy. So that's it. Water pump is rebuilt. That's all there is to it. Pretty easy job. I don't know why I was so afraid of it for all these years, but after doing it, I'm like, I could do this again, no problem. In about a quarter of the time. All right, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed that. See ya.